guys, I'm starting another reading vlog, and I was supposed to start this earlier because it was supposed to be the Wicked King reading vlog, but I have like 120 still pages left, and I just kept reading, so I kept forgetting to update, and it's now Friday, the week that this book came out. I haven't had much time to read it every day, but I'm hoping that this weekend I just pop the rest of this out in front of you guys. And I was just in class and I gasped at something that just happened in here. There was a plot twist that I literally did not expect. I was just like, like my mouth fell open in the middle of class, and my boyfriend Brett was like, "You good? Like, did something happen in the book?" And I kept telling him to shut up because I wasn't done reading the plot twist. I needed to know what was going on. There's also a lot of pink tabs in here. There's just steamy moments, and this is one of the most painful romances though, because it is enemies to lovers. They literally hate each other half the time, and they just will not let themselves have each other. But I got to a moment and I literally almost died. This book is trying to kill me apparently. I'm also currently reading The Assassin's Blade. I am 134 pages into it. I'm on the third novella of it, I think, and I keep just picking this back up in between the last few books I've been reading because it is a novella collection, so it's kind of just easy to finish a novella and then start something else, which I'm doing for the mass along, which I'm hosting, which information all over my Twitter and Instagram for that if you want to know. So I'm going out tonight with my boyfriend. We're going out to eat, and we might go roller skating and maybe watch Love, Simon. Like, I have never rewatched that movie. I just really want to watch it again so badly. But I'm also hoping that tonight, late at night when I get home, that I will be able to pop more of this book out. And while I'm waiting for whenever we go to dinner, I am going to read more of this because I got to know more about what's going on with that plot twist. So wish me luck. Let's hope I don't die. Guys, it's Peyton. I am back with another update for this book that I finished reading it last night because I really needed to. I got home at like 1 in the morning, but I only had 29 pages left, so I popped out the rest of this book. The plot twists in this book are just a constant thing that happens. I can't wait for the next one, and it kind of hurts that we gotta wait like another year after like this short little book. Like literally everything that happened, I'm just dead because I can't talk about it because I'll spoil like literally everything. But you know, I'm just saying that the ending was painful but also really exciting for the next book, The Queen of Nothing, which I guess comes out probably next year around January, because these books seem to come out around January. Oh, the enemies to lovers romance in here is just like the best thing ever. I haven't read like such an interesting romance in the longest time because they freaking hate each other, but at the same time they love each other. It's the weirdest thing ever, and they are both in the politics and they're trying to like get the bad people out, you know? That doesn't make sense, but whatever. I am currently reading The Assassin's Blade. Well, I'm continuing it because I was already reading it by Sarah J. Maas. I'm on page 236. I was hoping to finish this book this weekend. We'll see if I actually do. I was supposed to be reading right now, but my stupid sister, say hi. You're supposed to say hi.
Oh, hey.
My stupid sister sucks, so.
Oh.
She's making me watch a movie, even though
no. She's the one who asked me to watch the movie, and I said okay, so I don't want to hear it.
We're watching The Aristocats. I don't know if any of y'all remember this movie. I don't even know if it's a Disney movie. Is it a Disney movie?
I think.
It's one of the best animated movies of all time. We literally have it on tape. Like, it's not even a DVD, but we're about to pop that movie because it's so good, and hopefully I'll continue reading this tonight. I'm getting Panera, so that's a good thing that's happening. Okay, bye. Hey guys, it's Peyton. I'm back with another update and we are in my messy room, just from a different angle. Last night I did end up finishing The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. I originally gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars, but upon rereading it, I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. The reason that I feel I did this is because back then when I first read this, which I was much younger, basically anything Sarah J. Maas was a 5 stars, even if I didn't feel that way, but I just wasn't letting myself admit it. It is a really good collection of novellas in my opinion. The later novellas are the more interesting ones, and my favorite one I think from it is The Assassin and the Desert. It's just a lot more interesting of a storyline, but me and Brittany from Brittany and Books will be having a live show discussion for this that will be coming around the end of the month, so you can watch out for that, and we will be discussing this book in depth so that you can hear all my thoughts. And there's still time for you to join our mass along where you start off by reading The Assassin's Blade, and then next month we're reading Throne of Glass, and then the next month we're reading Crown of Midnight. It just keeps going, and we're both really excited about this. We've both already finished the first book and we're only like almost halfway through the month, so we're doing pretty great. It's like 2 in the morning the next day, and I'm currently reading On Writing by Stephen King. This is a book I have to read for school. I am graduating from high school this year, and we have this thing called a senior project, which I'm sure some of y'all have and some of y'all don't. And basically, I decided to do my project on like a career exploration of being an author. One part of the project is reading 2 books about your topic. So I already read the first book, which was Bird by Bird by Anne Lamott, and this is my second one, Stephen King's book. So I'm really enjoying this so far. I'm only 64 pages into it right now. He's like just talking about his earlier life and how he became a writer, which is quite interesting for me, who is really interested in Stephen King and all that he has done. And I feel like once we really get into the writing advice part of this book, I'm gonna have like so many things to tab because I'm sure he has a lot of things that I don't know. Another thing about my senior project is once we read our books, you have to like do a mini project that shows your learning of what you read. And of course I decided to sign up to write my own freaking novella, and it's due this month. I've been procrastinating it so hard, but recently I've been popping out the words. I've been trying to write almost every single day. The goal is 1,000 words and sometimes less if I'm really just not feeling it, but I have like 11,500 words at the moment. My whole long shot goal was a 20,000 word novella, which is a really short novella, but it really doesn't matter. Like, as long as I'm writing something that's like more than like a few pages, I think this is going to be accepted. And why has this turned into a writing vlog? I'm sorry. But I'm also so cool at the idea of making it like 15,000 words because I literally am gonna have so little time to revise and edit that thing. Like, it's not gonna be ready for when I turn it in. So that's great. I'm gonna turn in something that's not the best it could be. It's okay. If you want to know what my novella actually is about, if you actually care, I'm actually writing from the point of view of 3 students and a teacher during a school shooting. It's really dark, and I'm not making any political statements within it. It's really just, I wanted to portray the emotional impact that something like that has and show the terror that would go through all of them during such a traumatic event. Obviously, I haven't been through that, but I am trying to do it my best without going crazy with my deadline. I never have deadlines. This is why I'm the queen of procrastinating. Like, if you want to know about my actual freaking book, I've been done with that first draft and I just been like not doing anything to it. So that's great. Now, the writing vlog aspect of this video is over. I'm hoping to read more of this today, at least get to page 100. I also have homework and I might hang out with my boyfriend tonight, but it is Sunday, so it's a school night, so I can't do all that much. I can't stay up till 4 a.m. like I did last night. So I've literally not updated for 12 days. I am obviously the greatest booktuber of all time. I have some updates. I have been quite busy with school and everything, so I haven't done like this massive amount of reading like I really want to at the moment because I'm in a big reading mood. I do have an update. I did finish On Writing by Stephen King. I ended up giving this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed reading this book. There was a lot of personal stories and writing about how how he became a writer and just talking about some of the writing advice that he has picked up on throughout his years in the publishing industry, which I found quite interesting. But I did read this for my senior project. I'm doing a career exploration on being an author, and this was my second book I had to read for this, and I gave the other one a 5 out of 5 stars. It was Bird by Bird by Anne Lamott. That one was just really, really inspiring, and it gave me so much a motivation to write. And not saying that this one didn't, but I didn't fully agree with everything that he said in this book. There's just some things like how he feels that you have to write every single day or like nothing's ever gonna happen, and other things like a bad writer can never become a decent writer. I think you are naturally born with a gift for writing, but every time you write, you get better and better and you practice more. So I just didn't fully agree with that statement and how they would just never become better. It also was really interesting because he did get hit by a car in 1999, which was during when he was writing this book. So he had a whole postscript telling the story of that, and that was just a really in-depth explanation, and I really liked how he made it kind of like a story from a book. I felt like I was reading like a scene from a novel, and I was really captured by that whole part of the book. And I loved the moments where he described going back to writing after 5 weeks. I love the moments where he described going back to writing after 5 weeks of not writing, and he writes like 2,000 words a day every single day throughout the entire year, so it was just a big deal for him to get back into it. Lots of good tidbits of information. It was also interesting because I do know a lot about the publishing industry. I've like researched it for years, and this is definitely a take of the publishing industry from a while ago. He got published around like 1970 or the 80s, so he knows kind of a different world. Not saying it doesn't have similarities, but it was kind of fun to read about how the publishing industry has evolved, knowing what I know now and seeing what he knew then. I just didn't feel I could give it a full 5 stars though, because I did enjoy it, but I felt like I got more out of the other book on writing that I read. The book that I'm currently reading is a really random one for me. Like, y'all are probably gonna be like, since when do you read this type of stuff? And I'm just gonna be like, I don't know. I'm reading The Pact by Jodi Picoult. I think that's how you say her last name. I am 234 pages into this book, but honestly, the font in this book is so tiny. I don't even know if you guys can really tell how small it is, but I already really read like slow as it is, so this book goes by a lot slower than a normal book for me. This is an adult book, which is not something I normally go for, but whenever it's my boyfriend's aunt's house, and this is her favorite author apparently, and she kind of took me to her bookshelf and grabbed me 2 of her favorite books. So she also gave me Perfect Match by Jodi Picoult. I instantly decided to read this one just because the whole description really kind of captured my attention. It was about a guy and a girl who've known each other basically since birth because their parents are really, really close. They decide to have a suicide pact, and the book opens up where the guy named Chris and the girl named Emily are going to do this suicide pact, and we're kind of from the point of view of the parents, so they don't know this was happening. Emily dies. This is in the description, so it's a thing. Chris doesn't, and there was a gun, and there was a gunshot in her head. So some people think it's kind of suspicious, like suspect, this whole thing, like it's a suicide pact, but is it really? Do we know? And this book is really like jam-packed with so many twists and turns. It's really fun because it's taking place from flashbacks and present, where we see Emily and Chris's relationship from children up until before the whole tragedy. And then we see now as Chris is under fire, people either believing him or not believing him, and it is really interesting. But I will say there is very heavy trigger warnings for suicide, rape, sexual assault, things like that. It's just talked about in this book, and I think it could trigger some people, so definitely know about that before trying to go into this. But I feel like a lot of you guys who watched my videos and who like young adult and maybe like the darker like sort of books are like just the really weird and kind of psychologically spooky books. This might appeal to you even though it's an adult book. It does follow Chris and Emily, who is teenagers, but it does follow their parents as well, but it has a lot of different point of views, and it's just kind of crazy because it doesn't really tell you everything. It slowly develops to show you what the real plot is and what's really happening. And I think the book is really funny for saying a love story right here. Like, this thing is not something I would say is a love story. This is a disaster story. So I've been talking for way too long, and I think I'll probably end this vlog whenever I finish this book. I am going out with my boyfriend and a friend tonight, so you might see a clip of that, and I apologize in advance for whatever happens. So that is it for this clip. It was really long, sorry.
Hey, what's up, guys? Leafy's here.
Welcome to another food
review.
Oh, here comes Peyton now.
Oh, shit, here she comes.
Y'all started.
The great Peyton reads.
I'm a struggling rapper. Peyton's bringing me clout.
And I'm a future soldier.
I'm just
No, have you know,
regretful.
this entire thing's just gonna be Peyton being uncomfortable and me and Brett. So
Peyton is like just going, no.
Alright, so we're starting with the McDouble. Or is
He
that...
is 3 for a reason that I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Got the good quarter pounder with cheese. Double quarter pounder,
I
actually.
got a quarter pounder with just no pickles.
Hey guys, let's have some Peyton Reads ASMR.
You can get in more.
Peyton Reads Eats a Whopper. Hey guys, I think you should all agree with me. Hashtag daily upload.
No, I would not have a life.
You already don't have a life.
Like,
Like, what's the difference?
I got a nugget.
Like if you think she deserves more subscribers than PewDiePie.
Like if you think that eating ranch with your nuggets is actually disgusting.
It's actually good. You should try it.
Dude, I almost lost it. You're like, I'll have ranch.
Ranch.
She uses y'all.
Look, she only likes you for money.
That's not true.
Yeah, I don't remember their names. Brooklyn TV and that Canadian book YouTuber. Yeah, she uses you guys for money as well.
No, I literally.
Are you talking about Brittany and Julia?
Oh yeah, them.
Don't talk bad about them. I will snap.
No, I actually subbed to both of them, and now we're gonna do an on-live recording of me unsubbing to them.
I actually subscribed as well.
We're about to snap and attack.
You said we like they're here.
Yeah,
I could text them right now.
do it. A reader's world, more like a reader's not making money.
World.
I'm so sorry, Julia.
Oh, Brittany and Books are like, Brittany is shook because I just unsubscribed from her channel. Don't worry, I'm subbing back.
Peyton, how's it feel to be a book YouTuber?
It's interesting.
No, y'all should subscribe to my channel if you like me.
Nobody likes you.
Everybody go to SoundCloud and do TEC Gang. That's his rap right there.
No, not TC anymore, bro. It's Broski with 2 eyes on YouTube.
Oh, is it
bro.
really?
We're taking over Peyton's channel. If you want to see more Brett and Devin content, please
Subscribe.
please subscribe and like the video.
They're never coming back. Like, ever.
You know I am.
Yo, Brett, let's start our own channel. Excuse me, Peyton readers. We're at war. Alright, let's read. Hit or miss.
No.
Oh my
I
god.
guess they never miss,
Devin.
huh? Hold on, I need to change the page.
You turned the
You
page?
got a boyfriend. I bet he doesn't kiss you. Yo, I'm gonna tell you guys how me and Peyton met.
Peyton.
Oh no, how did we meet?
It all started sophomore year.
No, it wasn't. We met freshman year.
Yeah, but I don't talk about freshman year. Basically, I had a big Russian friend named Corbin, and he looked at Peyton in the hallway one day and said, "Hey, you know her?" I said, "I have no idea who that person is."
But we had the same class.
But I did know she was in my class, but she sat next to all the other thoughts, so I didn't talk to her.
I gotta bleep that out.
So basically, Corbin was like, "Yo, give her my number for me." I was like, "Why don't you do it yourself?" And he said, "That's weird." So you think it's not weird to ask me, an acne-ridden teenager, to walk up to this girl with hair that goes down to her to her flippin' butt and hand her my phone and hand her Corbin's phone number, but not mark who it is. So she's probably over there thinking, why is this
say
weird
how I
kid?
felt about it.
No, because no one cares what you feel because
Okay.
you're a woman.
Okay, so how I felt about it, I was really creeped out. I was like, who the frick is this guy that just did this? I don't know. And then take it away. Finish this story.
Corbin started like following her around in the hallway.
Yes, not fun.
I love how you said, hey, tell your part of the story, but I'm going to interject whenever I feel like it. Guys, like the video if you think Peyton's rude. So basically, Corbin's like, dude, I think she's really into me. And I'm like, dude, I don't think she's into you at all. You're like this big, brolic Russian man that's following this like short little girl with a book in her hand.
You didn't even finish the story. He like followed me, not him, this dude, followed me into the bathroom. Well, followed me outside of the bathroom. I thought I escaped.
Into the bathroom?
No, I thought I escaped when I went to the bathroom.
You know what's happening there.
No, when I came out, he was standing at the entrance of the bathroom waiting for me to leave. And I was like, I thought I got out of this. So that was fun. And we had like a 5-minute conversation that I did not want to have. Okay, fast forward a year.
So I had, God bless his heart, Bronine for chemistry.
Nobody knows him but I.
Okay, so basically what happened was we had assigned seats, but she came back like she was gone like all of freshman year because she had leukemia or something.
No.
And basically, I guess she wasn't on like the list or something because she was sitting there in the corner of the room.
I wasn't on the list.
Yeah, with leukemia. She was sitting there in the corner of the room by herself, like at her desk. So I was like, wow, I feel so bad for her. I think I'll just sit down with her, make a few jokes for like 5 minutes, and then Bronine will tell me to go back to my seat and we'll be good.
And then we were stuck with each other.
Yeah, because
awkwardly.
Bronine changed the seating chart, which actually
And that's how it all began.
I never told you this.
What?
After that class that day, he like walked up to me and he was like, I'm so happy to see students reaching out to help others in need.
I wasn't even in need. Like, I was actually like gonna be fine. It's just like I had no one
And
to
I
sit
just
with.
went, it's an
But
honor
the thing
to
is,
serve.
if he didn't do that, this whole friendship right here, you two would not be
No, I was a little like disturbed because I just remembered the thing from last year where you like forced me into this situation with this guy. So I was like, okay.
Oh, but yeah, she still laughed at all my jokes.
The thing is, whenever we're together and I joke to her, she laughs because she feels sorry for me.
Yeah.
We have cried from laughing before, just out of stupid things.
Because I'm hilarious.
Plastic.
I'm one of the funniest people you will
Yeah, and
ever
you're the biggest YouTube channel on YouTube too.
I've never sat down and read for over an hour. Like,
You're depressing.
My mind cannot let me.
He's depressing. You have a book YouTube channel.
You guys love me, I think.
Actually,
got a Twitter
big
notification.
confession, boys. I sub-botted 13,000 accounts.
I'm surprised I haven't this out yet.
I can get them for.
No. I'm gonna go get more.
You're leaving alone with this? Oh, you just hit your head. Good job. I called you a this. I'm sorry.
So, what do you think of the recent inflation in Zimbabwe's economy?
No, I just heard you guys. I didn't comprehend what you said. But who cares?
That's like an important part of
We-
hearing.
She is done with this.
I was done with
30,
this when
40
she
seconds.
told me that we were doing this, and my face lit up, and that was when she realized she messed up.
I told her about whenever I joked that we were canceling it in civics, and you believed me.
I was so
He
depressed.
said like, you were like, really?
Why do you link other videos about books in your videos about books? It's
Look,
actually
wait.
so infuriating. I think the last part to wrap up our dinner is an announcement. We are officially opening the Peyton Games sub-channel.
No. I didn't.
Move this over like a tiny bit, so Devin's in it more.
Yeah, just a tiny bit. There we go.
There we go.
That's better. And as we were saying, we're opening
up, guys? Peyton here.
the Peyton Games sub-channel.
You
where
should see her face right now.
me and Brett are gonna start playing video games, saying really inappropriate language. And the best part is, Peyton endorsed all of it.
No. Can we just end this? This is way too long.
Alright guys, Peyton's
We're
becoming
gonna end
Maggie
it right
again.
at 30. We have 30 seconds.
I'd just like to say, 9/11 was a hoax. The moon landing was an inside job. And I'm gonna pull out my willy for the last part of the video.
It's just okay. Wait,
Me and Brett are gonna have a sword fight.
Hey guys, it's Peyton. I have not updated in a few days, but this is going to be the final clip of the vlog because I have finished The Pact by Jodi Picoult. I ended up giving this book a 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. It was definitely something new and refreshing for me to read since I really don't normally read adult books. But this one definitely kept me on my toes and really kept me going because I really wanted to know how the story was going to unfold. I definitely think there's a lot of trigger warnings, like I said in my previous clip, so it could be harmful for some people, and I don't really know if all of the topics talked about in this book were touched on in the greatest way because I am not an expert in any of this. But from what I got from the story, I didn't have like a huge love for any of the characters. I just really enjoyed the story in general, and it kept me really intrigued the whole time. It did take a little bit of time to go through as well because the font is smaller than my normal font for like YA books. Those are normally larger than adult books, I have found. So it looks not that big, but the font just made it so much slower to get through. But it was worth it in the end, and I am glad I read it. So to end off the vlog, I am going to do an overview of everything that I read during this time. The first book that I read was The Wicked King by Holly Black, which I gave a 5 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read was The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas, which I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. And then I read On Writing by Stephen King, which I also gave a 4 out of 5 stars. And then finally, I read The Pact by Jodi Picoult, and this was also a 4 out of 5 stars. So 1 to 5-star read and 3 4-stars. I do think this was a successful reading vlog, though it did take a while for this vlog to end. Like, I just kept forgetting to film, and I kind of do that sometimes when I don't really have much to update on if I'm reading slower, but at the same time, I've had a really great reading month, for me at least, so you'll see that in my upcoming videos on how January went for me. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like it, comment down below, have a good day, please subscribe. I'm also really sorry for the eating food at McDonald's with my friends clip, if that scared you, and I totally get if you just fast forward. Sorry guys. Make sure to follow all my social medias, which are linked down below, and go click the bell button, which is right by the subscribe button, which you should have already clicked, and goodbye.